Hello again everyone, how are you people doing? I know you people might not be doing that well because board exams are almost here. No worries guys, today I bring to you the one-shot session of the chapter whose word problems make students cry the most, right? So in today's session, we are going to do one-shot session of the chapter pair of linear equations in two variables. And believe me guys, we are going to discuss all the tricky word problems and how do you set up the equations of the word problem. We are going to discuss just that. And to get all the notes and to get practice problems, do remember to click on the link in the description box below, which will take you to PW's app, and there you can enroll yourself in PW's free batch. Okay, and I hope you know what PW is. PW is the platform where affordability meets quality, right? Where you get amazing lectures from India's top faculties. And guys, I have said this again and again, but it never gets old because it is the truth. We give the best results, we have the best faculty. So yes, to explore PW's page. So yes, with that, let's get started. Okay, so important thing first guys, what is the weightage of this chapter in board exams? See, this chapter comes under the topic algebra, as I've already mentioned in the previous one shot of polynomials, right? So the weightage of algebra, if you remember, is 20 marks, right? Now this chapter here, its weightage in 2025 board exams was up to 6 marks, right? So you can expect, 1-2 marks more also or 1-2 marks less also, okay? But yes, it has quite a good weightage in your board exams, and also it is one of those chapters in which there are very selective topics, very selective concepts to understand, right? So yes, what are those concepts guys? The first thing first is, what are linear equations in one variable, then what is linear equation in two variables, then what is the pair of linear equations in two variables, right? Now under this we have two important things. The first thing is checking whether the given coordinates are the solution of the pair of linear equations or not, and the second topic is figuring out the nature of solutions, like what kind of solutions are you getting, what is the condition, how can you even figure out what kind of solutions will you get without figuring out solution itself, right? So these are important topics. Now finally we will see how to find the solution of pair of linear equations using two methods guys, the geometrical method and algebraic method. Okay, so these are the topics that we are going to cover today. So with that, let's start from the very basic, which is linear equation in two variables. This is something you have studied in 9th grade, but still we are going to start from scratch because it's important to build your foundation. Okay, so first of all guys, what does the word linear means? Linear means that degree is 1. Degree is 1. That's what linear means, right? Now what is equation guys? Equation means basically that you have equal to sign. You have what? Equal to sign. Basic thing, right? Now what does two variables means guys? Two variables basically means that there are only two types of variables. Right? So let's see using an example. So let's suppose I am writing 2x plus 4y is equals to 8. Now, first thing first guys, you will see here that the power of both the variables is 1 and 1 respectively, right? So that means this here is linear, because linear means that the degree is 1. That means the highest power of the variable should be 1, right? Now, there is an equal to sign, so this is an equation. So basically, this is a linear equation. Now, how many types of variables do you have? Specific types, guys. See, you can see that there are two types of variables, x and y, right? So this here is what? This is a linear equation in two variable, right? Now, if I write something like this, 4x minus 2x is equals to 8. Now, is this a linear equation in two variables? So first of all, you can clearly see that this is an equation and this is linear too because the power of x is 1, right? But there is only one type of variable that is used here, that is x, right? In fact, you can simplify this and write 2x is equals to 8. So this here is what? This is also a linear equation but in one variable. This is what? Linear equation in one variable. Right everyone? And you have studied how to figure out the solution of this in smaller grades, है ना? Okay, so this is linear equation in two variables. Now let's see the standard form of linear equations in two variables. Okay, so the standard form of linear equation in two variables is ax plus by plus c is equals to 0. Now since we are dealing with the world of real numbers, we'll say that a, b and c, they cannot be equal to, sorry, a and b, they cannot be equal to 0. C can be 0, right? So why are we saying that a cannot be equals to 0 and b cannot be equals to 0? क्योंकि बच्चा if a becomes 0 then ax becomes 0 obviously, right? And then the equation is reduced to a linear equation in one variable, right? Similarly, if b becomes 0 then by will become 0 and again we'll get a linear equation in one variable. That's why we say that individually the coefficients of both of the variables cannot be 0. Okay, so yes, that's the standard form and it's very important that you know the standard form because it will be useful when we are doing questions. Okay, everyone. Okay, now with that, let's talk about linear equation in two variables solution and its graph, right? Both of these are related. How? We'll see. So, first of all, any linear equation in two variable will have the graph as a straight line. That is important. Its graph will always be what? A straight line. Straight line, guys. Okay, so let's just draw a straight line here and let's suppose that here we have x coordinate and y coordinate and here this, let's suppose, is the graph of a linear equation. Okay, everyone. Okay, so first thing first. Now second thing, guys, the solution of a linear equation in two variable will be all the points that lie on the graph. What would be the solution? Solution would be all points that lie on the graph, guys. That lie on the graph. On the graph. Got it? So here for a linear equation in two variables, how many solutions will be there? So you will think about how many points are lying on this line. So clearly on a line you have infinite points, guys, because line goes on forever and ever and ever. So that means that for a linear equation in two variables, there will be infinite solutions. How many solutions? Infinite solutions, right? So let's write this down. Infinite solutions. As infinite points are lying on the graph. Right, everyone? This is a point lying on the graph. This, and so on and so forth. Right, everyone? Okay. But will every point be a solution of the given linear equation in two variables? That's not true, right? Let's suppose that this point here is 4, 0. This point is 0, 4. And this equation is of x plus y is equals to 4. Okay, so this is a linear equation in two variables and let's suppose that this graph that I have drawn is for this, right? Now, how will you check whether the given point is the solution of this linear equation in two variable or not, right? So let's suppose I ask you, check if 1, 2 is a solution of x plus y is equals to 4, right? So ask yourself, how will 1, 2 be a solution of this, linear equation in two variables? So it will only be a solution when this point will lie on this graph. So when will the point lie on the graph? When the point satisfies the linear equation in two variable, right? So all you need to do is, in place of x, put 1 and in place of y, put 4 and check whether the equation is valid or not. That means left hand side and right hand side are coming out to be equal or not. So if you do that, everyone, you will see that the LHS comes out to be 1 plus, sorry, the y would be 2, not 4. My fault, guys. Y is equals to 2, right? So yes, 1 plus 2, this comes out to be 3, while RHS clearly is 4. So you can see that LHS and RHS are not equal. That means 1 comma 2 is not a solution. That means 1 comma 2 will not lie on this line. Okay, all of this you have studied in 9th grade, but I'm still repeating it because this information is required, guys, for this chapter. Okay, so this is something very basic. Okay, now let's start with the chapter, guys. That is linear equation in two variables but in pairs. Okay, so what do you mean by pair of linear equations in two variables or simultaneous linear equations in two variables? So basically, when we have a pair of linear equations in two variables, that means we have two linear equations in two variables, right? So you can see here there are two linear equations in two variables that are written, and both of these are written in standard form. That means a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equals to 0, a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equals to 0. Where a1, b1, a2, b2, they all cannot be equals to 0, right? Because if either of them becomes 0, then you will not have a linear equation in two variables. Okay. Now, another way of writing that a1 and b1 are not equals to 0 is this. a1 square plus b1 square cannot be equals to 0. Why? Because this is common sense, guys. Common sense. Sum of two squares. Or basically, any number square would be what? It could be either 0 or it could be positive, right? So, now sum of two squares can be either 0 or it can be positive, right? So, now if they are writing this specifically, that the sum of two squares is not 0. So, that means the only thing possible is a1 square plus b1 square has to be positive. Right? And that implies that a1 cannot be 0 and b1 cannot be 0 because that's the only case left. Right? If the sum of squares of two things is positive, then both the numbers have to be greater than 0. So, this is another way of writing that a1 and b1 individually cannot be 0. Right? Similarly, here also they have written. Okay? So, this is your pair of linear equations in two variables. Now, why is this important? So, see, whenever you have simultaneous linear equations in two variables, then when we are talking about the solution of the simultaneous linear equations in two variables, then we have some really interesting cases. ठीक है? तो सबसे पहले तो let's ask ourselves कि what would be the solution of a pair of linear equations, because we know that if I have one line, let's suppose one linear equation in two variables, then I know that I'll get one line. Right? Okay. Now, if I have two linear equations in two variables, right? So, I'll get two lines on the same graph I am drawing, right? So, now another line. Let me draw another line, and let's suppose another line looks like this. Right? This here. So, when we are talking about individual lines, then they have infinite solutions, guys. Infinite points are lying on both the lines individually. But when we are taking them together, then what would be the solution of the pair of linear equations in two variables? So, by solution, we would mean that a point that is lying on both the lines individually. Right? Then only that point is what? It is the solution of the pair of linear equations in two variables. Okay? So, which is that point, guys? Very easy. See this point here, wherever both the lines are intersecting. That point is lying on both the lines, right? So, by solution of a system of two simultaneous linear equations, graphically we mean a point, intersection point of both the lines. Intersection point of both the lines, right? Because that point is lying on the graph of both the linear equations, right? Now, this is graphically, guys, right? Now, algebraically, what does that mean? So, algebraically, that means that the coordinates, basically, or x comma y, would satisfy both the equations individually. For example, let's just take x plus y is equals to 7 and x minus y is equals to 5, right? This is our pair of linear equations in two variables. What would its solution look like if it has a solution? If, guys, if is a big word, because we'll see that there are cases where you will not get any solution. We'll come to that, right? So, if these two have a intersection point, what would be the coordinates, right? Algebraically, how will we find out? So we learn those method, but for now, you can clearly see that if I take 6 comma 1, then x plus y is equals to 7, right? Here put x as 6 and y as 1. So you can see that yes, 6 plus 1 is equals to 7. So we can say that yes, 6 comma 1 is satisfying the first equation. Now you will check whether 6 comma 1 is satisfying the second equation as well or not. So now in place of x put 6, in place of y put 1, 6 minus y, that is 5, which is equals to RHS. So this point is also satisfying second equation also, right? So that means this point here would be the solution of the pair of linear equations in two variables, and this point is the coordinate of the intersection of both the graphs. Got it? Okay. Now let's see the type of problems that is asked directly from this topic. You should just know what solution is, and from there you do get questions. Okay. So first type of question is, you will just have to check whether the given coordinates or given x comma y is the solution of pair of linear equations or not, right? So here's a similar type of question that was asked in 2024, guys. Check whether the point negative 4 comma 3 lies on both the lines represented by the linear equations x plus y plus 1 is equals to 0 and x minus y is equals to 1. Now, when will this point lie on both the lines? When it is the intersecting point. When it is the intersecting point, intersection point basically, right? Or the point where both the lines are intersecting, or when this is the solution of both the equations. When it is the solution of both the equations, right? So let us take the equations individually and put x and y and check whether LHS and RHS is coming out to be 0 or not, right? So what is the LHS, everyone? Here LHS is x plus y plus 1. Now in place of x we are going to put negative 4. In place of y we are going to put 3, and we are going to check what LHS is coming out to be, right? So if we do that, we'll get negative 4 plus 3 plus 1, which comes out to be what? 0, which is equals to RHS. So LHS came out to be equal to RHS. That means that negative 4 comma 3 lies on the graph or line of x plus y plus 1 equals to 0. It does lie on this line's graph, right? But does it lie on the second, graphs as well or not? Okay, so let's check. Okay. Now again, I will take the LHS, everyone. What is the LHS for the second equation? X minus y minus 1. Yes. Okay, I just put 1 on the left hand side. Okay, x minus y minus 1. So put x is equals to negative 4, guys, and y is equals to what? 3, right? So when we do that, what do we get? LHS comes out to be negative 4, negative 3, negative 1, which comes out to be negative of 7. Now this here is not equals to the RHS, which was what? Which was 0. Right or not? Or simply do x minus y is negative 7, which is not equals to 1, same thing. So that means that negative 4 comma 3 does not lie on the graph of x minus y minus 1. So what's the final verdict, everyone? The final verdict is that this here is not the solution of the pair of linear equation, because this should have satisfied both the equations, right? So this implies that negative 4 comma 3 is not the solution for both the equations. You can write the entire thing, right? Or you can write that it does not lie on the graphs of both of the equations. Okay, simple, very basic, right? Okay, now another type of question that can be asked from this very same topic is this type of question, where the solution of the pair of linear equation is given to you, and there are certain unknown quantities whose value could be asked or whose relationship could be asked, right? So here you can see that x is equals to 1 and y is equals to 2 is given as the solution of the pair of linear equations, right? Two linear equations are given, and we have to find the relationship between A and B. where A and B are both what? They are certain, unknown quantities lying in both the pair of linear equations, right? So, chalo, how do you do these types of problems? Very easy, guys, very easy. Take individual, equations. 2x minus 3y plus a is equals to 0, right? Individual equation I have taken, and I am going to put 1, 2 in this. Okay, in place of x, I'm going to put 1, and in place of y, I'm going to put 2, and I'm going to see what I'm getting the value of a as. Okay, so what do you get? 2 minus 6 plus a is equals to 0, and from here you can see that, okay, a comes out to be 4. A comes out to be what, everyone? 4. Okay, we got the value of a. Good. Now, to find the value of b, again, you will take the next equation, which is 2x plus 3y minus b is equals to 0. Again, you are going to put 1, 2, right? So, what do you get? 2 plus 6 minus b is equals to 0. So, b comes out to be 8. Now, they have not given the specific values of a and b in these, in the options. They have given the relationship between a and b, right? So, you can see that the relationship between a and b is coming out to be what? It is coming out to be this, right? That a is equals to 2b, right or not? A is twice of b. A is 4, b is 8. So, what's the correct answer, everyone? The correct answer is, oh sorry, I have written this, wrong. B is equals to twice of A. My fault, guys, my fault. So, what's the correct answer, guys? The correct answer is option number B. This is the correct answer. B is equals to twice of A. And everyone that got the correct answer, pat yourself on the back, guys. Good job, well done. Okay, so yes, with that, let's move on to the next part. Okay, so dekho, we discussed about solution of the linear equation. But now we have to ask ourselves, what kind of solutions will we get for a pair of linear equations, right? So, we just saw that the lines, the pair of linear equations, basically, they will look like two lines, right? They will look like what? They will look like two lines, right? So, one line is this, let's suppose, and another line is this, let's suppose. Now, for both the lines, we can have, three cases. What are those three cases? The first case is, like we saw earlier, that the lines are intersecting. The lines are what? Intersecting. For example, here the lines are intersecting at this point, right? And we already know that this here is the solution of the pair of linear equations in two variables, right? Okay, now, one more question, guys. Can two lines intersect at more than one point? Is that possible? No, right? Well, how are you going to make two lines intersect at more than one point? That's not possible. Two lines will, if they intersect, they will only intersect at exactly one point. So, this is case 1, right? Where you are getting a solution and it is a unique solution. It is what? It is a unique solution, guys. Unique solution, right? Where two lines intersect. And the intersection point is what? That is your solution. Okay, now let's move on to the second type. Okay, second type of second case basically would look something like this, that you have a line. You have what? You have a equation of line like this, and you get another line's equation, another line's graph exactly overlapping the first one. Exactly overlapping the first one. Let me make it like this. See here. So here what is happening, everyone? We got the two lines, right? But both of the lines are exactly overlapping each other. Exactly. Now, how many intersection points are there? Infinite. Right? These two lines are intersecting at infinite points, guys, because they are laying over each other. So here you get how many solutions of the pair of linear equations in two variables? Infinite solutions. There are infinite points lying on both the lines, right? So this here is a case of infinite solutions. Infinite solutions, right? Okay, ठीक है. Now let's draw another one here. What if we get two lines and both the lines are what? They are parallel to each other. Both the lines are what? The lines are parallel to each other. Let's suppose that I have drawn one line like this, another is like this. These are the two lines and they are both parallel to each other. That means they are never going to intersect. They will never intersect. They will never have a point in common. So we already know that solution exists where a point is lying on both the lines. Right here, no point will lie on both the lines. So how many solutions will this pair of linear equation have? No solution, right? No solution. So these are the three important cases. Either a pair of linear equation will have unique solution, or it will have infinite solution, or it will have no solution. There's no other way out. Correct? Now, whenever our pair of linear equation has a solution, be it a unique solution, be it infinite solution, we call the system matlab the pair of linear equations basically. So we call the pair of linear equation as a consistent system. What? Consistent system, right? So consistent pair of linear equations are those pair of linear equations that have a solution. Now they can have a unique solution or they can have infinite solution. Both of the cases lie in this category. Right? So if somebody asks you whether the given pair of linear equations is consistent, all you need to do is check whether they are intersecting at a point or they are overlapping. That's it. If either of the case is happening, then the system is consistent. Got it? Now, for inconsistent system, we should have that the pair of linear equations do not intersect anywhere. That means the pair of linear equation will form parallel lines, guys. No solution, right? So the only case that lies under inconsistent system is no solution wala case. Got it? So what kind of lines will be there? Parallel lines. You will have parallel lines. If you have parallel lines, people, then the system is inconsistent. If you have no solution, the system is inconsistent. Got it? Simple, basic, easy, right? Okay. Now, let's talk about how we can even find out whether a system is consistent, inconsistent, or even under consistent. How we can find out whether the pair of linear equation have a unique solution or infinite solution. Like, I don't want to find the solution, but I need to figure out whether the system has unique solution, no solution, or infinite solution. So how can I do that? Is there a shortcut? Yes, there is. Let's see. So first, let's discuss the two cases of consistent system. So we know that either you have unique solution or infinite solution under consistent system, right? Now, these are the two linear equations in standard form. So now, algebraically, how we can tell whether the system has unique solution? So it's very easy. You just figure out the ratio of A1 and A2, and if that comes out to be not equals to B1 by B2, that's it, guys. That's it. If this happens, then your pair of linear equation has unique solution. It will intersect at exactly one point. Got it? So the ratio of A1 and A2 should be equal to the ratio of B1 and B2. C1 and C2 is not here. Like in this case, you just ignore C1 and C2. Got it? Simple. Okay. Graphical interpretation, you already know. Intersecting lines. Right? Okay. Now, let's come to the second scenario, everyone, where the system is consistent, but the number of solutions is infinite. So, when does that happen? So, that happens when the ratio of A1, A2 is equals to the ratio of B1 and B2, which is equals to the ratio of C1 and C2. So, that means A1 by A2 is equals to B1 by B2 is equals to C1 by C2. If all these three things are equal, then and only then will the entire system, the system basically will have infinite solutions, and the lines would be coincident lines. The graph would be of two coincident lines, right? Okay. Finally, inconsistent system, only one thing, everyone, no solution, right? So when will you get no solution? How can you figure that out? What's the shortcut? So again, you will figure out the ratio of A1, A2, B1, B2, and C1, C2. And in this scenario, what happens is A1 by A2 is actually equals to B1 by B2, but B1 by B2 is not equal to C1 by C2. Understood? A1 by A2 is actually equals to, here, let me erase this. ठीक है, A1 sorry, A1 by A2 is actually equals to B1 by B2, but this entire thing is not equals to C1 by C2. Got it? That's the thing. Now, what kind of lines will you get? Parallel lines, right? Parallel lines never intersect. They don't have a solution. Okay? So yes, this is the most important topic of this chapter. You will for sure get a question from this part here. Okay, there are varieties of questions that have been asked from this algebraic interpretation, and we are going to see just that. Don't worry. Okay, but please remember this. This is important. Okay, now let's start with problems, guys, and we'll start with easy problems. Okay, so 2024 question, guys, and a very easy one at that. The question is, in the given figure, graphs of two linear equations in two variables is given. You can clearly see that. You have to figure out whether the system is consistent with unique solution, infinite solution, or is it inconsistent. And final option is inconsistent but can be made consistent by extending these lines. See, this is clearly incorrect. If a system is inconsistent, it is inconsistent. You cannot convert it into a consistent system, right? So this here is an absurd option. So this is obviously wrong. Now, let's see the graph, everyone. So first thing first, a lot of people think that, aha, there are two lines and they are not intersecting, must be inconsistent system, baat khatam, let's move on. But that's not true, guys. Use some common sense. If these two lines are right now not intersecting, but these are lines, right? You can extend them. And you can clearly see that these two lines are what? They are moving towards each other. They are moving towards each other. So if you extend them, at one point they will for sure intersect. If your lines are like this, then obviously they are going to intersect somewhere when you extend them, and you can extend line, right? So even though here it does not look like they are intersecting, but they are, because they are moving towards each other, right? So if you have lines that are aligned towards each other on any side, then obviously they will intersect. System is what? Consistent, and unique solution is there. Why? Because these are clearly not coincident line, guys, right? So the answer is consistent with unique solution. Everyone that gave this answer, pat yourself on the back, guys. Kya baat hai? Well done, good job, right? Simple. Chalo. This is one type of question. Another type of question is, they will give you the pair of linear equations and they will directly ask you ki bhai batao that whether this will be having one solution or infinite solution or no solution, so on, right? Now here, first of all, guys, you can clearly see that they are given, one option is given as two solutions. Can that be possible? No, right? Either the system will have one solution or infinitely many solution or no solution. So this clearly is wrong. Okay? Now let's come back to the problem here. Now this problem can be done algebraically also or graphically also. Let's do it graphically, because we are going to do lots of problems algebraically. So let's at least do some problems graphically, right? Okay. So y is equals to 2, everyone. Let's just suppose this is 2. Okay? And y is equals to negative 3, everyone. So negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Now, what would y is equals to 2 look like as a line? So see, bacha, y is equals to 2 as a line would basically be a line that is parallel to x-axis and passing through 2. Let me make this again with some another color. Yeah, this is all right. This is the graph of y is equals to 2 in case you have forgotten. Why? Because see, the y coordinate is fixed. It will be 2, right? But x coordinate is not fixed. X coordinate is not fixed. It can move on, right? So for x is equals to 1, y is still 2. For x is equals to 2, y is still 2. For x is equals to 3, y is still 2. So that's why you get a line parallel to x-axis passing through point 2, right? Now similarly, y is equals to negative 3, everyone. This is y is equals to negative 3, yes or no? A line passing through negative 3 and parallel to x-axis, right? So remember, whenever you have y is equals to a, so its equation will look like this. Line passing through a and parallel to x-axis and parallel to x-axis. Always remember that, right? And if you have something like this, x is equals to b, So again, you will have a line passing through B and parallel to y-axis. To what? To y-axis. Got it? Let's just suppose you had x is equals to 2. X is equals to 2 matlab the line would pass through this 2, right, on x-axis, and it will go parallel to y-axis like this. Got it? So these are very small stuff you have already studied in smaller grades, guys. But still, please remember these small things, right? So yes, you can clearly see that both these lines are parallel to x-axis. That means both the lines are parallel to each other. That means these two lines will never meet. The number of solution is 0. There is no solution. It is an inconsistent system, right? So I think this was very easy. Okay, let's move on. Now, again, we have a similar type of question where again pair of linear equations is given to us and it is asked whether the graph would be of intersecting lines, parallel lines, coincident lines, or either intersecting or parallel lines. Okay? So again, we just have to figure out how many solutions will these pair of linear equations have. Now, here graphically means बहुत लंबा चौड़ा काम, right? So we are going to use a shortcut. We are going to figure out the ratios of A1, A2, B1, B2 and so on. And that shortcut we are going to use, right? So here everyone, let's see the first equation. And first of all, whenever you are using the shortcut, the algebraic method of finding out ratios, convert to standard form. Convert to standard form both the equations. Like you have to convert both the equations to standard form. Please do not miss this, guys. If you do miss this, you will make for sure a silly mistake that will cost you your 1 mark, 1 easy mark. ठीक है जी? चलो. Now, let's take the first one. We have 2x. I will bring everything on the left hand side. So minus 5y minus 6 is equals to 0. So I have converted this first equation into standard form. Now, let's take the second one, everyone. This equation here. So I'll write 6x first by bringing it on the left hand side. So this will become negative 6x. Then we have positive of 15y. Then we have plus 18 because, here it was negative 18. So plus 18 is equals to 0. Now we have the standard form of both the equations. Now you can proceed to find out the ratio. Got it? So please remember the first step, guys. Okay, now let's figure out the ratio, everyone. So for A1 by A2. For A1 by A2, you can see A1 is coefficient of x here and A2 is coefficient of x here, right? So 2 by negative 6. Convert it into simplest form, negative 1 by 3. Okay? Then B1 by B2, everyone. B1 is the coefficient of y here, so negative 5. B2 is the coefficient here, so 15. So again, negative 1 by 3 in the simplest form. Finally, C1 by C2. C1 is negative 6. C2 is 18. Again, negative 1 by 3 in simplest form. Please convert all your ratios in, simplest form to check their equality. You can clearly see from here that A1 by A2 is coming out to be B1 equal to B1 by B2, which is coming out to be equal to C1 by C2. And when does that happen? This happens when you have infinite solutions. That means, infinite solutions means, come on everyone, infinite solution means coincident line, right? Coincident lines. Coincident lines. Simple, easy. So the answer here is that the lines are coincident, guys. See, very easy, right? Okay, chalo. So yes, with that, let us move on to the next problem. Okay, another type of question that is a very common, here is, you will already be given that the pair of linear equation is either having no solution or infinite solution or unique solution, and you will be asked the value of some unknown variable that is present in either of the equation. For example, here you have to find the value of k, for which the pair of linear equations 5x plus 2y minus 7 is equals to 0 and 2x plus ky plus 1 is equals to 0 don't have a solution. So they already are saying that these two don't have a solution, but find the value of k. Okay? Now, first of all, again, always when you're doing such problems, convert both the equations into standard form. ठीक है? So here, good for us, equations are already in standard form. ठीक है? चलो जी. So I'll write the equations. 5x plus 2y minus 7 is equals to 0. 2x plus ky plus 1 is equals to 0. Now, they are saying that we have to figure out the value of k if they don't have a solution. Now, don't have a solution means algebraically we can say that a1 by a2 should be equals to b1 by b2, but this final ratio should not be equals to c1 by c2. This should happen, right? This should happen here. ठीक है? तो चलो, सबसे पहले I will take this part here. ठीक है? So a1 by a2 should be equals to b1 by b2. That means 5 by 2 everyone should be equals to 2 by k. Right? I have taken just the first part here. Okay? So from here you can say that, okay, if that happens, then k should be equals to 4 by 5. Right or not everyone? K should be equals to 4 by 5. ठीक है जी. Okay. Now, you will see, वैसे तो this is the answer, but you still will check whether putting k is equals to x plus 5 also is satisfying this inequality or not. ठीक है? So let's just check. This is just us checking. ठीक है? So let's take b1 by b2 is not equals to c1 by c2 and let's check whether k is satisfying this or not. ठीक है? तो b1 by b2 would be what everyone? 2 by k. So 2 by 4 by 5. Right? And here c1 by c2 would be negative 7. Clearly they are not equal, bhai. Why? Because you don't even have to calculate. You can see one is positive, another one's negative. Matlab, that's it, right? So yes, k is equals to 4 by 5 does satisfy this. From here only, in fact, we got the value of k. And here we can see that it satisfies this also. So what's the correct answer? The correct answer, everyone, is option number B. Right? Option number B here. So everyone that gave the, sorry people. Yeah. So yes, everyone that gave the correct answer, well done. Good job, guys. Okay. So yes, let's practice some more problems similar to this. Okay. So this is a question that came in 2023, guys. Again, bilkul similar type of question. We have to figure out the value of k, where the pair of linear equations here have infinitely many solutions. Okay. So first thing first, guys, you will convert both the equations into standard form and then proceed. Right. So here we'll have, yeah. So here we'll have kx minus y minus 2 is equals to 0. And the second equation will look like this. 6x minus 2y minus 3 is equals to 0. This is what it will look like. Right, everyone? Okay. Now, infinitely many solution. When does that happen? That happens when you have something like this. a1 by a2 should be equals to b1 by b2 should be equals to c1 by c2. Right, everyone? Okay. So now we can see that k is coming out here, right? So first of all, let's just take the first ratio. a1 by a2 is equals to b1 by b2. Okay, first one I'm taking, and let's put everything here, right? So a1 is k, everyone. It's the coefficient of x in the first equation. a2 is 6. b1 is a negative of 1. b2 is negative of 2. So from here you can say that, okay, k comes out to be 3. K is coming out to be 3. Right, everyone? Okay. Now, let's check whether putting k is equals to 3 in this ratio here does satisfy this ratio or not. Okay? Chalo. So, let's take b1 by b2. b1 by b2 is equals to c1 by c2. And let's check. Okay? So, if we do that, b1 by b2, in b1 by b2, we can clearly see that 1 by 2 is equals to 2 by 3. Oh, okay. Wait. We did, see, this was an interesting question, guys. We just figured out that k is equals to 3 from a1 by a2 is equals to b1 by b2, right? ठीक है. Most of the people would have stopped here. They would have given the answer as k is equals to 3 and they would be like, okay, good to go. But they would have lost marks. Why? Because they did not use common sense. What is that common sense? The common sense is, see the ratio here, these three things should be equal, right? So that means b1 by b2 individually should be equals to c1 by c2, yes or no? है ना? ठीक है. But b1 by b2 is coming out to be 1 by 2. C1 by C2 is coming out to be 2 by 3. Are they equal? They are not equal. They are not equal, right? See here, they are not equal. And if they are not equal, then basically even if you put k as 3 here, even if you put k as 3 here, what you will get? You will get a1 by a2 is equals to b1 by b2. But b1 by b2 will not come out to be equals to c1 by c2 no matter what k you put. Right? Because originally it's not equal. So, matlab, no matter what value of k you put here, you will never get a solution for this equation. Right? So, does not exist. वैसे तो देखा जाए, then this question should not exist, right? How are they saying us? How are they asking us to find the value of k where this equation here has infinite many solution, when clearly in the beginning only, no matter what you do, this equation will not have any solution. The value of k does not matter here. ठीक है? चलो. So the answer is does not exist, everyone. Okay? Let's move on. Now, next question, guys. 2019, okay. Find the values of k so that the pair of linear equations has a unique solution. Second part, no solution. ठीक है? I think now you have got a hang of these questions, so I want you people to do it yourself. Let's see how many of you people can find the answer before me, right? Okay, so first thing first, everyone will write both the equations in, their standard form, right? So we have x plus 2y minus 5 is equals to 0, and then we have 3x plus ky plus 15, sorry, is equals to 0, right? Now, first of all, let's do the first part, everyone, where we have to find the unique solution, right? So for unique solution, we just need to see that a1 by a2 is equals to b, should not be equals to b1 by b2. This should not be there, right? So all you need to do is plug in all the values here and figure out the value of k. Okay, chalo. So the value of a1 is what? 1, right? Whenever there's no coefficient of, a variable, that means coefficient is 1. Okay, so 1 over 3 should not be equals to 2 over k. So now a lot of people get confused and they are like, ma'am, how do you solve this inequality? Because here this is not equality, right? This is not equal to sign. So don't worry, solve it like an equal to sign. Solve it by assuming that there's an equal to sign here, right? So if there was an equal to sign here, you would have cross multiplied, guys, right? So k would come here and 3 would go there, and you will have k on the left hand side, 6 on the right hand side. Now in place of equal to, you will just write not equal to sign. That's it. That's the thing. Okay, so whenever you have the not equal to sign, do not get confused. Just solve it supposing that there's an equal to sign. Okay, and at the end just put not equal to sign. Remember that. So now this tells us that for all the value of k other than 6, this equation will have a unique solution. Okay, so what is the answer? All values of k other than 6. You will have to write other than 6. Okay? This will fetch you unique solution for this pair of linear equations. Okay, ji. Let's go for no solution, everyone. Okay? Chal, let's do it here. Okay. 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 Chalo. No solution, everyone. So for no solution, what do you need to do? A1 by A2 should be equals to B1 by B2, but that should not be equals to C1 by C2, right, everyone? So yes, let's do that. So A1 by A2 should be equals to B1 by B2, but this should not be equals to C1 by C2, right, everyone? So let's take A1 by B2 is equals to B1 by B2 first. So that would be what? Let's me write this down here. A1 by A2 is equals to B1 by B2. So that would give you what? 1 by 3 is equals to 2 by k, right? Solving this will give you k is equals to 6. So that means if k is equals to 6, then the first thing holds. This thing will hold, right? This thing will hold. Now what about the next part, right? So let's check b1 by b2. What is b1 by b2, everyone? You can see that it is 2 by k, right? 2 by k, and k came out to be 6. So 1 by 3, we are doing nothing. We are just plugging in the value of k as 6 in b1 by b2, and then we'll figure out c1 by c2. What is c1 by c2, everyone? Negative 5 over 15, right? So negative 5 over 15 clearly is negative 1 by 3. So from both of these, you can say that, okay, B1 by B2 is not coming out to be equals to C1 by C2, and this is what we required, right? This is what we required for no solution. So yes, we can see that for k is equals to 6, the first thing also holds and the second thing also holds. Both the things holds. So you will individually find. First of all, we figured out the value of k from the first thing, first equality. And then this k is equals to 6 we put here to figure out b1 by b2. Then we figured out c1 by c2 and we checked whether b1 by b2 is not equals to c1 by c2. Okay? Simple, easy. So yes, let's move on, guys. Okay, this is directly from 2025 board exams, guys. An assertion reason question was asked from this topic. Okay? Chalo, first of all, let's read both the statements. And also, before that, how do you solve assertion reason question? So first of all, you will check the validity of assertion wala part, then you will check the validity of reason wala part. Matlab, you will check whether both the statements individually are correct or not. Okay? So let's see the first statement, everyone, and see whether it is individually correct or not. The value of p for which the system of equations 4x plus py plus 8 is equals to 0 and 2x plus 2y plus 2 is equals to 0 is consistent is 4. Now, we know for consistent system either there should be unique solution or infinite solution. Okay? So what I will do first of all is I'll figure out the value of a1 by a2, b1 by b2 and c1 by c2 and check whether what is what we are getting, right? So a1 by a2, everyone, would be what? 4 by 2. And notice that both the equations are already given in standard form. That's why I did not convert. Okay? So 4 by 2, everyone, comes out to be 2. Okay? b1 by b2 is what? b1 by b2 is p by 2. p by 2. Okay? c1 by c2 is what, everyone? c1 by c2 is 8 by 2. 8 by 2, which comes out to be 4. Now here they are saying that both these equations here will form a consistent pair of linear equations if the value of p is 4. So let's put the value of p as 4 and check. Okay? So I'll put the value of p as 4. So do that, everyone. Put the value of p as 4. So 4 over 2. That comes out to be 2. Now from here you can clearly see what is happening. You can see that a1 by a2 is actually come out to be b1 by b2 equal to b1 by b2. But b1 by b2 is not equals to c1 by c2. Yes or no, everyone? Can you see 2, 2 and 4? So a1 by b2 is equals to b1 by b2, but this is not equals to c1 by c2. Now that means what? That means that the system is inconsistent. Inconsistent. Why inconsistent, guys? Because there is no solution. This is the case of no solution. Do you remember? So, matlab, the first statement, the assertion statement in itself is a false statement. This is what? This is a false statement. Bas. Okay? Now, let's check the reasoning wala statement individually. So, this says that the system of equations a1x plus b1y plus c1 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equals to 0 is consistent with infinitely many solutions if a1 by a2 is equals to b1 by b2 is equals to c1 by c2. Now, individually, obviously, this statement is true. We have studied this, right? So, now, guys, whenever either of the statement becomes false, then clearly, first and second option can never be true. Okay? Because then if any one of the assertion or reason becomes false, then obviously you will not check whether the reasoning is explaining the assertion or not. Okay? कोई मतलब ही नहीं है. So only the last two options, one among the last two options would be correct. Okay? So we clearly saw that assertion A is false and reason R is true. Okay? So remember, only when both the statements become true, then you check whether reasoning is explaining the first statement correctly or not. Okay? Then only the first two statement, either one of the first two statement would be correct option. Okay? Chalo. Now, it's time to talk about how to find the solution of pair of linear equations. Ab tak to we discussed about systems, we discussed about shortcuts on how to find whether the equations have a solution or not. Now it's time to find the solutions itself. Again, very important, guys. You know already that you will get a question from this topic. Matlab, it's a no-brainer. Okay? Chalo. So yes, the pair of linear equations in two variables can be solved in two ways. You have the graphical method, guys, and you have algebraic method. Now, under algebraic method, we will see two methods, that are substitution and elimination. Okay? We are going to see all the methods using direct questions, because that's the best way to learn out there. Okay? So with that, let's start by figuring out the equation of the given pair of linear equations graphically. This was a question asked in 2019 for 3 marks. And yes, a question from graph did come in 2025 board exams also. We'll cover that one also, don't worry. But yes, this is important, okay? You should know how to draw graphs. ठीक है जी. देखो, you have already learned how to draw graphs in smaller grades. In case you have forgotten, I am going to show it here. Okay, so please pay attention. The first thing you will do is form a table, everyone. Form a table-like structure. Two table-like structures here I have formed. Okay? And here we will write the value of x and y individually. Sorry. ठीक है जी. चलो. Okay. Now let's start. Oh, wait everyone, sorry. Okay, now let's start. देखो everyone, first of all you will take one equation, and let's take the first one here. The first equation is x plus 3y is equals to 6, right? So x plus 3y is equals to 6. Now what I will do is I will plug the value of x and figure out the value of y. Okay, or you can plug in the value of y and figure out the value of x, whatever you want to do. So सबसे easy होता है, first of all put the value of x as 0 and see what value of y you're getting from this equation. Now as soon as I put x as 0, this thing will reduce to 3y is equals to 6. That means y will come out to be 2. Yes. Second thing, put y as 0 and check what you're getting as x. This is very easy, okay? So I put y as 0 and I got x as 6 clearly from this equation. So you are going to plug the value of one variable and you're going to get the value of the other variable. Okay? Now another thing, now next we can randomly choose anything. So I am thinking of choosing 3. Let's put x as 3, okay? So if I put x as 3, everyone, so we'll have 3 plus 3y is equals to 6. From here y comes out to be 1, right? So when you plug in the value of x as 3, you get the value of y as 1. That's it. Okay? Now let's do this for the second equation also. So now second equation, let's write that down. Okay, so you have 2x plus, minus 3y is equals to 12, right? So first of all, you will put x as 0. What value of y did you get? Negative of 4, right? Next, we are going to put y as 0. If I put y as 0, I'll get x as 6. Okay? Next, what I can do is I can put the value of x as 3. So I am putting the value of x as 3. So if I do that, what do I get? 6. Y is equals to negative 2, right? 6 plus 6. Yes. Okay. Now everyone, you will start plotting. What you will do? You will start plotting. Okay? So first of all, let's just see what all values of x and y you're getting. So you can see that the values of x and y, they are ranging from, for x, they are ranging from 0 to 6. From 0 to 6. So make sure that you mark until at least 6. Okay? So that you don't get confused. Okay? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I will just extend it a little bit here. Okay? I'm so sorry for this haphazard thing. Yeah, 6. Okay, everyone? Now, the value of y is ranging from 2 to negative 4, right? 2 to negative 4. So make sure, oh, sorry, I did this wrong. This was basically me marking the y-axis. My fault, guys, my fault. So I'll have to mark till negative 4 at least. Negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. At least till negative 4, I'll have to mark, right? Now let's mark x-axis, guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so on, right? Here you can leave till negative 1, negative 2, and so on. We don't need more than that. ठीक है, अब we will start plotting the points of the first equation here, right? So what are the points? I'll write the points here in case you get confused. 0, 2, x coordinate, y coordinate, right? 0, 2, then 6, 0, 6, 0, then 3, 1, right? First x coordinate, then y coordinate. Now 0, 2, where will this 0, 2 lie, everyone? So x coordinate is 0, y coordinate is 2. So x coordinate 0, y coordinate 2, that means this is the point they are talking about, right? Y coordinate 2, x coordinate 0. Now another 6, 0. So x coordinate 6, y coordinate 0, right? Next 3, 1. So this is x coordinate 3, this is y coordinate 1, and they will merge where? They will merge here. This is 3, 1, right? So once you get that, everyone, you will simply join both all the 3 points. What you will do? You will join all the 3 points. So let's just join all the 3 points here. Wait. Here, we have joined all the 3 points. And since I am not using a graph paper, everyone, that's why this is so haphazard. Okay, but when you will draw on a graph paper, it will come out to be very clear. Okay, chalo. Okay. Now for the next one, everyone, you will again do what? You will write all the coordinates. So 0, -4, 6, 0, and 3, -2. Okay. So let's mark all of these. 0, -4, guys. This is 0, -4, right? 6, 0. 6, 0 will be what? This again would be 6, 0 only, I think. 6, 0 is there. Okay. And finally 3, -2. So 3, -2 somewhere here, right? Now you will join all these 3 points. Wait, let me join it using another color. Now this is all right. Okay, everyone. Okay. Wait. I will just extend this line, the first line, so that you can clearly see it. Okay, everyone. Now, you can see that we have both the lines, right? We have made the graph of both the lines. You can also see the intersection point, right? Now, you had to solve the equations graphically. Matlab, you had to show the intersection point. So, what's the intersection point, everyone? 6, 0. So, what is the solution, everyone? The solution is 6, 0. Now, what are the important things to note when you are drawing the graph? First of all, everyone, draw the graph using pencil. Please take pencils in your exams. Don't draw graph using pen. They're not clear. You cannot erase them. A lot of problem is there with drawing graph, using pen. Please use pencil, guys. Okay, you'll get a graph paper. On graph paper, you can easily draw the graph very clearly, very neatly. You will also see the intersection point very clearly. They will not give you hard questions. Jab intersection point comes in points, no, they'll give you very simple questions. Okay, so yes, draw it using pencil on the graph paper that is provided to you. Second thing, write down the points that you are plotting. Matlab, draw the table and show the table. Okay, show the table. So here we have shown the table, right? And finally, write the solution, because at the end of the day, they are asking you to find the solution. So do write the solution. Do write the intersection points coordinate. Okay, understood? That's all things that you need. So here's a well plotted graph. So here you can see 6, 0. See, this is the solution. Okay, everyone. With that, let's do a question that came in 2017. Now, why is this question important, everyone? Because this question has an additional point which we'll be discussing, and it could be asked in your board exams. Okay? The first thing first, you have to solve graphically. That means you will have to plot the lines of both the basically plot the graphs of both the lines. And finally, you will have to shade the region enclosed by these lines in y-axis. Okay? Or you could also be asked, there is another thing that could be asked, area of region enclosed by these lines and y-axis. This could also be asked in board exam. So how will we do that? So first of all, you will plot both the lines. Now, good for us, I have done the plotting. Okay? But you will have to do your plotting yourself, guys. Please practice it. Okay? So here both the lines. Here are both the lines. Okay, ji? Now intersection point is quite easy to see. ठीक है, -2, 4. This you can find easily. Now you had to shade what? You had to shade the region enclosed by both the lines and y-axis. So what do you mean by y-axis, everyone? Let's see. This here is the y-axis. Okay, this here is the y-axis. Okay, so that means this line here, let me draw this line more. This green colored line I'll extend because this will be required here. Yeah, ये हो गया, ठीक है. Okay, everyone. So we have to shade the area that is enclosed by both the lines and y-axis. So this is your y-axis, ठीक है. So this is forming one line of the triangle that you will see now. Now this here is part of one line and this here is a part of another line, right? So basically the area they are talking about is what? This is the area that they are talking about. This is the area that is enclosed by both the lines. You can see that, and y-axis, right everyone? And y-axis, can you see that easily, right? ठीक है जी, चलो. So this was easy. Shading the part was very easy. ठीक है, y-axis, I hope you understood. If x-axis was asked, then this would have been the x-axis. If you would asked to shade the area enclosed by both the lines and x-axis, so ye x-axis, right? And this here are the parts of two lines. So this would be your triangle that you had to shade. ठीक है, चलो. Now let's figure out the area of this triangle as well. Let's do that, guys. It would be very fun. ठीक है, चलो. So first of all, you can see this triangle here, right? I hope you can see this triangle here. This is the triangle, right everyone? And we have to find its area. Now we know that the area of triangle ABC is equals to what? The easiest formula out there, everyone will use that, 1 into base into height. This is the formula we are going to use. ठीक है? Okay. Now let's take BC as our base. We are going to take BC as our base. ठीक है? How can we take now? How do we know the length of BC and why are we taking BC as base? Both of these things will be answered. Don't worry. तो पहले तो let's talk about figuring out BC's length. तो देखो बच्चा, if you just know the coordinates of B and C, it would be very easy, right? So how do you know the coordinates of B and C? How will you know that? So देखो, this green line is intersecting y-axis at point C. So point C is the intersection point of the green line and the y-axis. ठीक है? So green line here is this here. This is the green line, right? So let's just figure out where this line will intersect y-axis. That would give you C's coordinate, right? So to figure out where the line is intersecting y-axis, all we need to do is plug x as 0 because on y-axis x is 0, right? So if I put x as 0, y comes out to be 7. Y comes out to be 7. This is 7. ठीक है? Or you can simply think, how can you figure out C? You can easily figure out C if you figure out, this line's point that is, intersecting y-axis. Bas, khatam. So put x as 0, y comes out to be 7. So this is 7, everyone. Similarly, can you not figure out point B? Point B is the intersection point of the black colored line, which is this line, and y-axis. So again, put x as 0. As soon as you put x as 0, y comes out to be what? 8/3. Sorry. So this here is 8/3, everyone. Okay, I think this is simple. Okay. Now, how do you figure out, CB? So I think CB is very easy. Base is equals to CB, and CB would be what? Think about it. From this entire length, from here to here, this is the entire length 7, right? And from here to here, the length is 8/3. So from this entire 7, subtract 8/3 bus, right? So 7 minus 8/3. That's it. Yes or no? Did you understand what we are doing here? So what will this come out to be? 21 minus 8/3. Right, everyone? So this will come out to be 13/3. Okay, simple. So 13/3 centimeter is your base. Now, let's talk about height. So for height, I will draw a perpendicular from this point to BC. Now think about it, guys. What would be the length of this perpendicular? It's very easy. The length of this perpendicular would be what? It would be the x coordinate of this point. The x coordinate of this point, which is -2. So you will obviously skip the negative part, okay, because this is length. So this here is what? 2. Did you understand? Come on guys, this here, the perpendicular distance of this point from y-axis is nothing but the x coordinate. That's the definition, right? So this is 2. So that means height is 2. And I hope now you get it. Like, why did we choose base as BC? Why did we do that? Because we could easily figure out our height from there. Okay? Now, all you need to do is apply the formula. So, by applying the formula, everyone, what do you get? Area comes out to be half into 2 into 13 by 3. So, basically 13 by 3 centimeter square, or whatever is it's given, right? 13 by 3, everyone, square units, because centimeter is not given, so you will write square units. Okay? So yes, these types of questions have not been asked recently in board exams, but you never know, guys, you never know, right? So remember to figure out the intersection point with whatever axis they are talking about, x-axis, y-axis, kuch bhi pooch sakte hai. And then you can easily figure out the area by picking the base as the part of the line lying on the axis, whether it is y-axis or x-axis, and the height would be basically perpendicular on that part of y-axis or x-axis. Okay, chalo. So with that, let's move on. Okay, now we'll come to the algebraic part of finding the solution, right? So we have already discussed that in algebraic method, we will see two methods, substitution and elimination. Now, elimination is the most commonly used method, but for knowledge sake and for our exam sake, we will see substitution method also, because they might ask you in exam to find the solution using substitution method. Okay? So, chaliye ji, what do you do in substitution? Minus t is given out to be 3, right? So, what I did was, I figured out the value of s by keeping it on the left hand side and took everything else on the right hand side, right? So, I figured out s as t plus 3. Got it? Now, this, let me take as 1, right? So, what I will do now is, I will put this 1 in the remaining equation, right? So, put 1 in the remaining equation, which is s by 3 plus t by 2 is equals to 6. So, I hope you understood. You could have taken the value of t also from here and put it here. So, totally your choice which value of a variable you want to put, or from which equation you want to figure that value out. Okay? So, from whichever equation you are taking out the value of one variable in terms of another variable. So, that equation is done. Then you are going to put that value in the remaining equation. Okay? So, now what I am going to do is, I am going to put in place of s t plus 3. Okay? In the second equation. So, t plus 3 over 3 plus t by 2 is equals to 6. Did you understand what we did here? We converted this linear equation in two variable into linear equation in one variable. Right now, this entire thing is in terms of t, and we know how to solve it. Okay, so let's solve it, everyone. T by 3 plus 3 by 3 is 1 plus t by 2 is equals to 6. T by 3 plus t by 2, everyone, you can solve it. You will get 2t plus 3t over 6. 1 will go on the other side as 5. So, you will have 5t over 6 is equals to 5, and from here you will get t as what? 6. T comes out to be 6, everyone. Okay? Now, to figure out the value of s, what you will do? You will just use this, right? So, you will write here, put t is equals, put t is equals to 6 in 1. So, from there, you get s is equals to t plus 3. That is 6 plus 3, that is 9. So, what's the solution? Do not forget to write the solution, right? So, the solution here is what? So, you'll put 6 in place of t, and in place of s, you're putting 9, right? So, the solution would be 9 comma 6. Or you can, if you don't want to write it like this, you can just write it like this also, like t is 6 and s is 9. That's it. Okay? So, I hope you understood. Pretty easy, pretty basic. With that, everyone, let's move on. Let us discuss this problem here, and we are going to solve this problem using elimination method. Okay? Chalo. So, yes, we just did one question on substitution method. So, don't worry, guys. We'll do a lot of word problems there. We are going to make sure that we do certain word problems using substitution method and some on elimination method. Okay, so don't worry about that. Chalo. So we have to solve this. Okay, so first of all, let me write both the equations. X by 2 plus 2y by 3 is equals to negative of 1, right? Okay, next we have x minus y by 3 is equals to 3. Now make sure that you are writing down the equations correctly. Do not do silly mistakes of skipping any negative sign or something like that. Okay? Okay, now what you're going to do, everyone, is you are going to make the coefficient of any one of the variables same in both the equations. Okay? So you can choose to make the coefficient of x same, or you can choose to make the coefficient of y as same. Totally your choice. Here what I am going to do is, I am going to make the coefficient of x as same. Why? Because it's very simple. See, here we have the coefficient of x as 1 by 2. Here the coefficient is 1, right? Now think about it. How can I make the coefficient of x as 1 by 2? So for that, what I can do is, let me just say this is 1, this is 2. So what I can do is, I can multiply, multiply equation number 2 with 1 by 2. Think about it. If I multiply equation 2 with 1 by 2, what do we get, everyone? Let's just see. So we'll get this, right? 1 by 2 x minus y by 3 is equals to 1 by 2 into 3. Now this is very important, guys. When you're multiplying an equation with something, you have to multiply both the sides. Please don't skip any one side, है ना? Because then the equation will not be balanced, right? You can multiply the entire, on both the sides you can multiply the same number and equation will still be balanced. Okay? So that's why we multiplied. Now let's just multiply 1 by 2 with both the variables here. So we'll get what? X by 2 minus y by 6 is equals to 3 by 2. Right? This is what you will get. Now you can see that this here has the coefficient 1 by 2. Here also we have coefficient 1 by 2, right? So we have reduced this equation into another equation with coefficient as same as the first equation. Okay? Simple? Okay. Now let's mark this as equation number 3. Now what's the second step, everyone? So second step is to simply either add both the equations or subtract both the equations, so that you eliminate one variable from both of the equations. For example, here I made the coefficient of x as same. Why did I do that? Because I wanted to eliminate x. Now how can I eliminate x? By subtracting both the equations, because now these two are like terms, right? They can get subtracted and you will get 0 from there, right? So what I'm going to do, what's the next step? Let's just see. Okay, so subtract 2 from 1. Please write all the steps that you're using. Okay? So when we do that, everyone, what we will get? So you can write it like this, okay? X by 2 plus 2y by 3 is equals to negative 1. And here we have what? We have x by 2 minus y by 6 is equals to 3 by 2. Okay, we are going to subtract now. Now, when you subtract, guys, here we had addition sign, so now it got converted to negative sign, right? Here we have negative sign, so it will get converted to positive sign. Remember, sign changes for the second equation's terms, right? Here we have positive sign, so this becomes negative. Now you can simply do the calculation. X by 2 minus x by 2, 0. 2y by 3 plus y by 6, right? So let's write this down. 2y by 3 plus y by 6 is equals to minus 1 minus 3 by 2, right? This is what you will get. Now this is a linear equation in one variable. You can solve this quickly. So what do you get? Here you'll get 6 into 2 is 12. So basically you'll make the denominator same, no? So the denominator here will become 6. So this will remain 2y only. Here you'll multiply, my fault. Let's do this again. The denominator will be what? The denominator will be 6, everyone. Now, since the denominator is 6, you here will multiply what? You will multiply this with 2. Here also you will multiply with 2. So you will get 4y. Plus here it will remain y only. And here you will have negative 5 by 2. Now, 4y plus y is 5y. So 5y by 6 is equals to negative 5 by 2. So from here you can clearly calculate y, and it's very easy, right? So you'll get negative 3. Y comes out to be negative 3, everyone. Very simple. Okay? Now how will you figure out x? So just plug in the value of y in any of the equation. right? So let's just write here, put y is equals to -3 in here. Let's just put it here. X in second equation, x minus y by 3 is equals to 3, right? So we'll have x plus 3 by 3 is equals to 3. So x comes out to be what? It comes out to be 3 minus 1 is equals to 2. So x comes out to be 2, everyone, and y comes out to be -3. So what's the solution? The solution looks like this, 2, -3. Simple. Thoda sa lengthy for a 2-marker question, I agree, but still at the same time, it's very simple, right? So that's how elimination method works, and this was a question directly from 2025, guys. So I hope you understand how important these methods are. Okay, chalo. So yes, with that, let's move on to the next problem. Okay, this one's interesting, guys. 17x minus 19y is given as 53. 19x minus 17y is given as 55. The value of x plus y is asked. Okay, so first of all, there is something really important about these two linear equations that are given to us. What is important? So notice how the coefficients of x and y are getting interchanged in both of these equations. That means both the equations have this form. What form, everyone? This form here. Ax plus by is equals to c, and another equation is of the form bx plus ay is equals to d. This is the form. Yes or no? Do you agree? See, the coefficient of x becomes the coefficient of y here, and the coefficient of y becomes coefficient of x here, right? Now, how do you solve these types of problems really fast? There's an easy way. What's the easy way, everyone? So the easy way of solving these types of problems is this. You will first of all add both these equations. Okay? So let's do that. Okay? Let's add. Wait a minute. Yes, add both equations. Okay? So once you add both the equations, what you will get, notice here, you'll get ax plus bx, right? So I can directly take x common and I'll get a plus b x like this. I'm just adding ax and bx. I get this. Now I add by and ay. So what I'll get? A plus b y. Yes, a plus by. This is what I'll get. On the right hand side, things remain simple. We get c plus d. Now you can see that the coefficient of x and y have come out to be same. They are both a plus b. So I can take the coefficient common. So a plus b, and here I have x plus y. And this comes out to be c plus d. So from here you get x plus y is equals to a plus b. Okay, everyone? Okay. Now, how do you figure out the solution? Because still it's not the solution. So for that, next, first we added both this equation. Next thing is to subtract both the equation. What you will do, you will subtract both the equations. Okay? So let's do that, everyone. Subtract. This time what I am doing? Subtracting. Okay? Both the equations. So when you subtract ax minus bx, so you'll get a minus b common x. Similarly, here you will get a minus b y, c minus d. So again, you can take a minus b common, right? So you will get something like this, x plus y. Oh, wait. Did we do something wrong? A minus b. Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry, everyone. Let me rewrite this. Notice that this will be by minus ay, right? So by minus ay we will have b minus a into y. So I need to write it as a minus b. So for that, I'll have negative sign here, right? I have taken negative sign common here, negative. So now what do we have? We have x minus y is equals to c minus d over a minus b. So now we have reduced this equation into two simpler equations of the form x plus y is equals to this, x minus y is equals to this, right? Now it's very easy to solve problems like these. You can simply just subtract and eliminate y. If you simply add and eliminate y. Like if you add both these equations, y will be eliminated. You'll get the value of x, right? And then you can get the value of y also. Okay, so I hope you will remember if the form is something like this. This is the method that you use. Add both the equations, then subtract both the equations. You will get two very reduced form of equations which are very easy to solve. ठीक है, understood? Now, is this equation here, this problem here, is this of this form? So a lot of people will get confused and they will be like, ma'am, here the coefficient of x and the coefficient of y are not exactly same because one is positive, another one's negative. That's true, guys, that's true. But still, remember, if you also have a form like this, ax minus by is equals to c, and then you have, bx minus ay is equals to d. If this is the form, then also you can use this same method and your equations will be reduced to something simpler which are easier to solve. Okay? So remember, for both of these, this will be true. Okay? So this is of the second form, you can clearly see. Okay. Now, with that, we have to figure out the value of x plus y. Now, I am going to be very clever. What I am going to do is, I am going to note both the equations down, and since I know the short trick, what I will do basically is, I am going to subtract both the equations. Sorry, I'm going to subtract both the equation and see what I'm getting. Okay, everyone? So let's do that. Let's subtract both the equations. So if I subtract, here we'll get minus sign. Here we'll have positive sign. Here again minus sign, right? So 17 minus 19x, guys, minus 2x. Minus 19 plus 17y. Then again minus 2y. Here 53 minus 55 minus 2. So okay, now I can take minus 2 common. Here we'll get x plus y inside the bracket because I took the entire minus 2 out. Okay, and equals to minus 2. Now minus 2 can go on the other side and x plus y comes out to be 1, and we are done because this is what we had to find. X plus y is equals to 1, right? So the correct answer is option number 1. Everyone that gave the correct answer, kya baat hai? Well done, guys. So remember, when you have such type of problems, use your brain. If I had to find x minus y, I would have simply added. Think. So can you figure out x minus y and write the answer in the comment box? Please do that, guys. I would love to see your comments. Okay? So yes, another important type of question. With that, let's move on and let's start discussing word problems. Okay, the time has come, guys. The most important type of problems where a lot of students lose marks because they are not able to set the equation correctly. That has come here, and I have made it my mission to make it easy for you. Okay? So let's start with a very simple word problem that was asked in 2025 for 3 marks. And free ke 3 marks the bhai. This was very easy. Okay? X and y are complementary angles. They have already told us, x and y are complementary angles. So we don't need to take any unknown value as x and y. They have already given it to us. Good for us. We have 2 complementary angles. You should know what complementary angles are. Complementary angles are angles whose sum is 90 degrees. Supplementary angles, if supplementary angles are given, supplementary means sum is 180 degrees. Supplementary means sum is 180 degrees. You should remember these trivial stuff. Otherwise, how will you do these problems? Right? Okay. X and y are complementary angles. Stop. You will form the first equation right here because you know that since they are supplementary angles, x plus y is equals to 90 degrees. Simple. Write the reasoning. They are complementary angles. Complementary angles. Okay, okay. Now, their ratio is also given to you. Can you see the ratio, everyone? X ratio y is 1:2. Whenever 2 quantities ratios are given to you, how do you take the, things? Like, what can you do? How can you take the value of x and y? So, there are multiple ways. First of all, you can simply write x by y is equals to 1/2. This is one way, right? And let's go by this way because this is easier. Okay? See, ratio is given x by y is equals to 1/2 and I wrote it as it is. I did not do anything else. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply simplify it. So, let me simplify it. Here, I'll write the original. X by y is equals to 1/2. And on simplifying, I will get what? 2x is equals to y. I just cross multiplied, everyone. So, 2x is equals to y. Okay? Now, let's solve both these pair of linear equations in 2 variables by using elimination method. Which method I'm using? Substitution method. Okay? I'm writing here so that nobody gets confused. Using substitution method. By spelling, I'm not very strong at spelling, so please forgive. small grammatical mistakes if they occur. Okay? Chalo ji. So what I'll do is, I will take this as 2 and I will take this as 1 and I'm going to put 2 in 1 because I have the value of y directly as 2x, right? So I just need to put the value of y as 2x in the first equation. Simple, right? So let's write that down. Okay, so put 2 in 1. So what do we get if we put 2 in 1, everyone? Let's see, x plus, in place of y, I am going to write 2x. So x plus 2x is equals to 90 degrees. So from here, 3x is equals to 90 degrees. That means x is equals to 30 degrees. We got x as 30 degrees. Y was 2 into x. See here. So y is equals to 60 degrees. 2 into x, guys. That's it. That's it. Simple. 30 and 60 degrees is your answer. I think this was very simple question, right? So yes, that's the first word problem and I think very easy also. With that, let's move on to the second word problem that was asked in 2025 and this one was not so easy. Okay? But not so hard either. 5 marks, guys. 5 mark a question, right? So thoda to it would be difficult. Chalo ji, let's read the question first of all and figure out our unknown quantities that we will set as x and y respectively. Vijay invested certain amounts of money in 2 schemes, A and B. This is important because this is something not given to us. The amount of money invested in A and the amount of money invested in B is unknown. Like these two are unknown. Okay, keep it in mind. Which offer interest at the rate of 8% per annum and 9% per annum respectively. He received 1,860 rupees as total annual interest. So total interest that he received on A and B together is 1860. However, if he had interchanged the amounts of investments in the 2 schemes, he would have received 20 more as annual interest. So previously he received 1,860 rupees. If the rate of interest on both the amount would have been exchanged basically, total interest would have become what? 20 more than 1860, right? So 1880 rupees. That is what they wanted to say. How much money did he invest in each scheme? They are asking you the amount of money invested in each scheme. That means these are the unknown quantities you have to find. So let's set them as x and y respectively. Okay? Chalo, let's write it down, everyone. Let amount invested in scheme A be x rupees. Okay, everyone? Now, let amount invested in B scheme be y rupees. Okay? So, first of all, you will declare your variables like what they are. This is important, right? How will the teacher know what is x and y or what is y? So, please write that down. Okay? Steps carries marks, guys. Remember. Now, let's start. On x rupees, the rate of interest was 8% per annum. 8% per annum. So, interest earned on A. Interest earned on the amount, okay, that was in A. What is that interest, guys? So, remember the total money x multiplied with rate of interest. Money multiplied with rate of interest, right? So, x into 8, since it is percentage, you will write 8 by 100. So, 0.8, you can write it like this or you can simply leave it as 8x by 100. So, 8x by 100 rupees is the interest earned on x rupees. So, remember what did we learn here? Interest earned would be percentage multiplied with amount. Percentage of interest multiplied with amount. Remember that. Okay. Now, similarly, guys, interest earned on B. That would be what? Y into, second one is 9%, right? So, y into 9 by 100. So, that would be 9y over 100 rupees. Same concept, guys, same concept. Okay, so these are the two interest earned on both these schemes respectively. Now, they have given us the total interest received is 1860. Okay, very simple. Okay, so the first equation is what? The first equation is the interest earned on first scheme, which is 8x by 100, plus interest earned on second scheme, sorry, is that is 9 by 100. It is equals to 1860. You can simplify this, and please simplify this, guys. I can take 100 common and throw it on the right hand side. So 8x plus 9y is equals to 1860, then 2 more zeros because multiplied with 100. That is your equation number 1, people. Equation number 1. Okay? Chaliye ji, let's move on and figure out equation number 2. Let's do that. Now, for equation number 2, what they are saying? They are saying that if the amounts of investments in both the schemes would have been exchanged, matlab, the amount that was previously invested in A, that would be invested in B. Matlab, the first amount now is on the interest 9%. We have to basically cross multiply interest. Do you understand? See here, this is A, this is B. Previously on A, 8% interest was earned, here 9% interest. Okay? Now they are saying that the money is getting exchanged. So previously X amount was in A, and in B we had Y amount. Now X amount is going to B and Y amount is going to A. Understood? So interest, I'll directly write interest on Y rupees would be what? So it has gone to the first scheme. In the first scheme, the interest was 8%, right? So 8 by 100 Y. Remember percentage, that's why we are dividing by 100. Now interest on rupee X is equals to 9 by 100 Y. 100x, sorry, 9 by 100x, because now X rupee has gone there in B scheme. Okay? Now what's the total interest, guys? Let's figure out the total interest. Total interest is equals to 8 by 100 Y plus 9 by 100x, right everyone? But total interest in this case also is given to us, 20 more than previous interest. So 20 more than 1860, that is 1880. Okay? So what you have to do? Let's write the second equation, everyone. So you will have 8y by 100 plus 9x by 100 is equals to 1880. Let's simplify this and write x first. So I'll have 9x plus 8y is equals to 1880. Then 2 more zeros. Equation number 2, everyone. We have 2 equations, right? They seem very hard equations, like we have such big numbers on the right hand side. But notice how is the form of both these equations. Like here the coefficient of x is 8. Here it is the coefficient of y. Here the coefficient of y is 9. Here the coefficient of x is 9. So coefficients are getting exchanged. That means we have the form we have discussed about. Right? So in such situation, how do you solve the equation really fast? You first add both the equations and then you subtract both the equations and get 2 simpler equations which you can solve very easily, right? So yes, everyone, I will take another slide. Yeah, 8x plus 9y. Here, 8x plus 9y is equals to 186, then 3 zeros. And here we had 9x plus 8y is equals to 188, then 3 zeros. First, we will add both the equations, right? Remember, this is the first step. So what do you get? 17x plus 17y is equals to, you can add this, so 0, 0, 0, 4, 7 and 3. 3, 7, 4, then 3 zeros, right? So now here you can take 17 common and throw it on the other side. So you have 374 000 divided by 17. Right, everyone? So I think you can do the calculation. So let's do the calculation here. What do you get? I'll write it here. X plus y is equals to 2 here, 34, 35, 36, 37, 3. 2 here and then 3 zeros. This is what you get. 22 followed by 3 zeros. Okay. Next thing what you will do, everyone, next thing that you are going to do is you are going to subtract both the equations. Okay. Chalo, let's subtract both the equation. 8x plus 9y is equals to 186,000, and then 9x plus 8y is equals to, I hope I have written it correctly, yeah, is equals to 188,000. Now let's subtract everyone. So as soon as you subtract, you will get minus x here, you will get plus y here, right? 9y minus 8y, so plus y is equals to, here what you will get, 0, 0, 0, and here 6, let's do this like this, na? So minus of 2000. This is what you get. Let's just rewrite this. So this is y minus x is equals to, or we can, take the negative sign common, okay, because negative 2000 is thoda sa irritating. So you can take it common, guys, like take negative sign common here, and it will reduce to x minus y is equals to 2000. This is what you get. So this is equation number 1, 2, I think we should name it 3. This is equation number 4. Now can you not solve equation number 3 and 4 together? You can, right? So you can simply add. If you simply add both the equations, you'll get rid of y because both of their coefficients are 1 each, right? So simply add 3 and 4. Why are we simply adding? This is elimination method that I'm using, guys, because already coefficients are same, so simply addition will do, right? So we have x plus y is equals to 22 followed by 3 zeros, and x minus y is equals to 2000, right? When we add both of these, we'll get 2x here, and here we'll get 24,000. Sorry, 24 followed by 3 zeros, yeah. So here we'll get x is equals to 12,000. So x comes out to be 12,000 rupees. Now can you not figure out why? So see, x plus y was 22,000, right? So y would be 22,000 minus 12,000, right? So that would come out to be 10,000 rupees. So yes, the money invested in both the schemes are 12,000 and 10,000 rupees respectively. So see, for a 5-marker question, I think it was not that tricky with calculations. Like the calculations were pretty basic, pretty easy, right? So I don't think that it was a hard question in terms of calculation, but yes, you had to just apply your brain on how to form equations. That's it, guys. That was the main point of this entire problem. Okay? Chali. So with that, let's move on to the next problem. Okay, now here we have a question based on age. Okay, age-based question. So we have done question on angles, we have done question on money, and now this is an age-based question. Again, very common, guys. It was asked in 2024. So 3 years ago, Rashmi was thrice as old as Nazma. 10 years later, Rashmi will be twice as old as Nazma. How old are Rashmi and Nazma? Now, the unknown quantities, guys, the present ages of Rashmi and Nazma. So let's write that down. Let's assign variables to these unknown quantities that we have to find. Okay? Chalo. So let Rashmi and Nazma age, Rashmi and Nazma's age be x and y respectively. And y respectively. Okay, so we have assigned the values of x and y to both of their ages. Now, let's start. First thing first, 3 years ago. They are saying 3 years ago, they are giving a relationship between both their ages. So first of all, you should think that 3 years ago, what would their ages become? 3 years ago. 3 years ago, what would be Rashmi's age, everyone? Rashmi's age. It is x now. So to figure out 3 years ago age, you just have to subtract 3 from the present age. That's how you figure out your age 3 years from 3 years before, right? Just subtract from present age, not the other way around. Okay? So from present age minus 3. Remember. Similarly, what would be Nazma's age? Nazma's age. I'm writing all of this down, all the basic stuff, so that you people can understand. Nazma's age would be y minus 3. Yes or no? Present age minus 3. Now, let's see the relationship that they have given 3 years ago between their ages. So Rashmi was thrice as old as Nazma. Matlab Rashmi's age. What is Rashmi's age, everyone? Rashmi's age is x minus 3. So whatever Rashmi's age was, it was equal to, equal to thrice 3 times. Thrice 3 times. 3 times. Okay? As old as Nazma. So 3 times Nazma's age. So what was Nazma's age? 5 minus y minus 3. So remember, since we are talking about 3 years back, so we are taking the ages x minus 3 and y minus 3 respectively. So Rashmi's age is equals to 3 into Nazma's age. You can simplify this, everyone. Let's just do that. So we'll get x minus 3 is equals to 3y minus 9. So let's bring it here. So x minus 3y is equals to minus of 6. This is equation number 1. Okay? Now let's move on to the second statement. Now they are talking about 10 years later. 10 years later, matlab bacha, that this time you have to go ahead. Okay? So again, just like we wrote the ages for 3 years ago, we'll write the ages for 10 years later, right? So 10 years later. 10 years later. Later means aage, right? So Rashmi's age would be what, everyone? Rashmi's age would be present age plus 10. Nazma's age would be what, everyone? Present age plus 10. Whenever you're writing the age for future, you just add with present age. Okay, x plus 10. Now let's see the relationship that is given. Rashmi will be twice as old as Nazma. Okay? That means Rashmi's age, what is Rashmi's age, everyone? X plus 10, right? Would be, was means will be, or will be means equals to twice. Twice means 2 into, right? Nazma's age. What would be Nazma's age? Y plus 10. Now let's simplify, everyone. X plus 10 is equals to 2y plus 20. So x minus 2y is equals to 10. This is equation number 2. You have 2 equations and very easy equations at that. You can clearly see that in both the equations, the coefficient of x is same. So if you get equations like these in which, one of the variables have the same coefficient in both the equations, simply use elimination method. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to subtract both the equations. Okay? So let's do that, everyone. So subtract 2 from 1. Okay, so yes, can I do the subtraction directly? Okay, chalo, I'll not do that. I'll just write everything down, don't worry. X minus 3y is equals to negative of 6. X minus 2y is equals to 10. Let's subtract. So here x will get cancelled. 3y minus 2y, everyone. What will you get? Y. And here again, since we are subtracting, this will be minus sign. Wait a minute. X minus 3y is equals to negative 6 and x minus 2y is equals to 10. Okay. So what do you get? This would be minus, no? Minus y is equals to, here we'll have minus 16. That was the problem. Okay. Minus 3y plus 2y would be minus y, right? So minus y minus 16, that means y is equals to 16. Y is equals to 16. If y is 16, guys, can you figure out the value of x very easily? So, you can figure out the value from any of the equation, plug it anywhere. So let's just plug it here or here. This is easier. So 32 minus, so 32 plus 10, 42. Sorry. 16 into 2, 32. 42. X is equals to 42. X is equals to 42. This is the answer, guys. This here is the answer. Okay, and you can check your answers also. That is the beauty of the word problems, right? So just check whether this is holding up or not. So in Rashmi was thrice as old as Nazma 3 years back, right? So 3 years back, the age would have been 39 and this age would be 13. So yes, 39 is thrice of 13, right? 10 years later, Rashmi's age would be twice. So 10 years later, this would be 52 and this would be 26. So 26 into 2, 52. Yes. So yes, this is holding up. This is good to go, right? So yes, with that, let's move on to another problem. This is a question based on numbers, everyone. Simple, easy. Let's see. Half of difference between two numbers is 2. So we have two numbers and their difference, half, is given as 2. Sum of the greater number and twice the smaller number is 13. Find the numbers. We have to find two numbers, guys. So let the numbers be x and y respectively. Let the numbers, but now we have to specify which one's bigger, which one's smaller, because they're talking about greater and smaller numbers, right? So let the greater number be x, or let's be clever and let's make sure that we write as less as possible. Okay? So let the numbers be x and y respectively, and now we'll simply state that x is greater than y. Bas khatam, x is greater than y, x is the greater number. Okay? So let the numbers be x and y respectively. Now the first thing, half the difference between two numbers is 2. So first of all, let's figure out the difference of two numbers. Difference matlab from greater number you will subtract the smaller number. Common sense, guys. So x minus y you will do, right? This is the difference, guys. So difference is x minus y. They are talking about half the difference. So half the difference means you will have to divide the entire thing by 2. Or you can write x minus y by 2 or 1 by 2 into x minus y. Totally your choice. Now this is equals to what? 2. They have given it to you. This is equals to 2. Simple. Let's simplify. X minus y is equals to 4. This is the first equation, everyone. Now, second statement. Sum of the greater number and twice the smaller number. Okay. Sum of the greater number. Greater number is x. Sum matlab addition. Sum means addition. Greater number is x. So, x plus twice the smaller number. Twice means 2 into. Right. So, 2 into smaller number is y. So, x plus 2y is given as 13. This is equation number 2. Bas. Now, again, the coefficient of x is 1. Wow, you know how to do it, right? Simply subtract one equation from another. You will eliminate x. Okay? Chalo. So, I'll do the subtraction directly here, everyone. You can write it अच्छे से, but right now I am writing it like this. Okay? X minus x, 0. Minus y minus 2y, minus 3y. Right, this will become minus, no? 4 minus 13, everyone, is equals to minus of 9. From here, you can say that, okay, y is equals to 6. Y comes out to be what? Sorry. Y is equals to 3. My fault. Y is equals to 3. Right? Now, what would be x? You can just put y as 3 here. So, x would come out to be 7. X is equals to 7. Right? You just plug in the value of y in any one of the equation, you will get x. Okay? Now you can check also, like difference 7 minus 3 is what? 4, and half of 4 is 2. So yes, this is 2. Good to go. Next, sum of the greater number. Greater number is 7 plus twice the smaller number. 7 plus twice of 3 is 6. So 7 plus 16 is equals to 13. Good. So you can always verify your answers like within seconds. Okay? So I think this one was easy. Next, a part of monthly hostel charges in a college hostel are fixed and the remaining depends on the number of days one has taken food in the mess. When a student A takes food for 25 days, he has to pay 4,500 rupees, whereas a student B who takes food for 30 days has to pay 5,200 rupees. Find the fixed charges per month and the cost of food per day. So you can see the two unknown quantities. I hope you can, right? So let's assign x and y to those, right? So let the fixed charge per month be x rupees, everyone. Okay, and let the food charge per day be rupees y. Okay. Now, the fixed charge, that is the hostel charge, will remain x only, right? It will not change. What will change would be the food charge according to the number of days the student is eating food there, right? So, let's see the first situation where you have student A. So, student A has to pay food for 25 days. ठीक है. Now, obviously, he will pay the entire fixed charge, everyone. Why? Because he is staying in the hostel for, right? So he'll pay the entire fixed charge X rupees. But along with that, he will pay food charge for 25 days. Now, for 1 day, the charge for food is Y rupees. For 25 days, the food charge would be 25 into Y rupees, right? So X plus 25Y. That is equals to what? They have given it. They have given the number 4500. That's equation number 1, everyone. Okay. Now, for student B, again, he will pay the entire fixed charge or the hostel charge, which is X rupees. Okay, wo to he has to pay, right? He's living there, so he'll pay. Now, he is taking food for 30 days, right? So, for 1 day, the charge is Y rupees. For 30 days, the charge is 30 into Y. So, 31. And that's why he has to pay the total amount as 5200. Option number 2. Equation number 2. Again, the coefficient of X is same. Good for us, guys. Let's just simply subtract both the equations, right? So, we'll simply subtract both the equations here. X minus X, 0. 25Y minus 30Y minus 5Y is equals to 4500 minus 5200. So that would be minus of, sorry everyone, 700. Okay. Now, let's simplify this. So Y comes out to be what? Y will come out to be 140 rupees. Right? This is what you'll get. Okay. Now, let's figure out the value of X. So, X will come out to be what? Let's just see here. X will be equals to 4500, everyone, minus 25Y. Minus 25 into, what you're getting? 25 into 140. Right? Okay. So, 3500. X is equals to 4500 minus 3500. So, that would be what? It would be 1000 rupees. So, the fixed hostel charges are 1000 rupees, while the food charge per day is 140 rupees. That's your answer. And again, you can verify if you want, right? Quite a cheap hostel we have here. Okay, so with that, let's move on to the next problem. Okay, this one's interesting based on cost wala thing. And let's see, okay. 2 chairs and 3 tables cost 5650 rupees, where 3 chairs and 2 tables cost 7100 rupees. Find the cost of a chair and a table separately. So we have to find the cost of the chair and we have to find the cost of the table. Okay? So obviously these are the two unknown quantities. So let's assign them X and Y. So let cost of chair and table be rupees X and Y respectively. Right, everyone? Now, once you do that, I think it's very easy. See, how much tables and chairs are they buying in the first case? So, they are buying 2 chairs. So, if the cost of 1 chair is X rupees, then the cost of 2 chairs would be 2X rupees. Unitary method, very simple. They are buying 3 tables also. So, if the cost of 1 table is Y rupees, the cost of 3 tables would be what? 3Y rupees. So, 3Y. And total cost is given. See, they are saying 2 chairs and 3 tables. And matlab always addition, right? So, both of these cost total 5650 rupees, right? So, this here is equals to 5650 rupees, everyone. Now, let's move on to the second part. 3 chairs and 2 tables. So, for the next part, they are buying 3 chairs. So, the cost of 3 chairs would be 3 into cost of 1 chair, that is 3x. Plus cost of 2 tables would be cost of 1 table multiplied with 2. So, 2y is equals to what? They are giving it as 7100 rupees. You have to solve both the equations and get the value of X and Y respectively. Now, good for you guys. You can see that this is a special type of pair of linear equations where the coefficients are getting exchanged. So, how do you do these types of problems? You can add both the equations, then you can subtract both the equations and you'll get very simpler equations, right? or if you don't want to do that, you can use elimination method also. Totally your choice, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay? Chalo, so I will be going with the first method because that's easier on the calculation part. So first of all, on adding both equations, I will simply add, guys, because we have done it multiple times. So you can simply add 2x plus 3x is 5x. 3x plus 2y again is 5y is equals to, you can add this, what you'll get, 0, 5, 7, 12, right? Okay, now you can take 5 common on and take it on the other side and divide this entire number by 5. So what do you get? 5 into 2 is 10, 5 into 5 is 25, 5 into 5 is 25 and 0 here. So this is one equation that we got. Okay? Now, another thing that we'll do is we'll subtract both the equations, guys. On subtracting both the equations. Subtracting both equations, guys. Subtracting both equations. What do you get? 2x minus 3x minus x. Right? 3y minus 2y plus y is equals to what? So 5650 minus 7100. You can simply subtract. So let's just do this. Minus, obviously, then you will get 0. Here you will get 5. Here again you will get 64. And here you will get 1. Okay. So yes, 1000. Let's just check whether this is correct or not. Wait. I'm sorry, people. 5650. If we add, what do you get? 0, 1. Okay, this is correct. This is correct. Okay, everyone, no problem. So yes, what do we get on subtraction? 1450. Okay, minus of 1450. Now this is another equation. Now what you can do? You can name these equations. Let's just say that since we have named nothing as 1 and 2, I'll name this as 1 and 2 respectively. So now simply you can add 1 and 2 because the coefficient of x, in fact the coefficient of y is also same, so you can add or subtract whatever you want. Okay, you'll get your answer. Chalo. On adding 1 and 2. Adding 1 and 2. What do you get, everyone? X will be eliminated. X minus x. Gaya. Right? Y plus y, everyone. 2y. And then you will simply add this. So 0. Then again 0. Then again 0. 4. Right? So yes, 2003, 4,000. Yes, 4,000 rupees. So from here, y comes out to be rupees 2,000. And x, you can figure out by putting y in any of the equation. You can put it here. So you will get x as 550 rupees. Simple. This is the answer, everyone. I think we have done a lot of questions on how to solve linear equations in two variables. So I hope you have gained an expertise on those at least. For more problems, it take times, it take a lot of practice. Okay? So you have to practice a lot of problems yourselves also, guys. There I can't help you. Sorry. Yeah, challenge. So with that, let's move on to the next problem. Okay. Points A and B are 100 kilometers apart on a highway. One car starts from A, another from B at the same time. So you have been given 2 points A and B, and it's been said that their distance from each other is 100 kilometers. It's what? It's 100 kilometers. Right? Now you have 2 cars, everyone. One car coming from here, one car coming from here. First of all, in first situation, this is happening. Like there are 2 cars and sorry. In the first situation, both the cars are traveling in the same direction at different speeds. Okay, so there is one car here at B, and let's just suppose that both of these are going in this direction. This is the first case. They are both going in the same direction with different speeds, obviously. And they meet in 5 hours. They meet in 5 hours. After 5 hours, they meet. Okay. Now, if they travel in the same direction at different speeds. So, second scenario is what? I will draw the second scenario also. This is the second scenario, everyone. A, B. We have 2 cars here. My doodling is very bad. Please forgive me for that. Okay, they are traveling in the same direction. And if they do that, they will meet in just 1 hour. They will meet in 1 hour. Here they were meeting in 5 hours. Okay? What are the speeds of both the cars? You have to find that out. What steps do you suggest to save petrol? Now, these types of problems were asked, previously. These types of questions are not asked, so you can skip this. Okay? Now, first of all, let's start with the basic. Let's start with what everyone will write in their copy first. That is, let the speeds of A and B be X and Y respectively, because those are the known quantities that is being asked from you, right? Let the speeds of the cars, of the, of the cars be X. Since they are giving the distance as kilometer and they are giving the time in hours, so please take your speed as kilometer per hour. Okay, use that common sense. Hai na? So let the speeds of cars be X kilometer per hour and Y kilometer per hour respectively. These are our speeds. Chalo. Now let's come to the question. How will you solve this? From where will you start thinking? So first of all, people, think about it. Think about the first situation. When both the cars are traveling in the same direction, they are meeting after 5 hours. They are meeting after how many hours? 5 hours. Matlab ki, after 5 hours, both their position will be same. Do you agree? After 5 hours, both of the cars will be here. Both the cars will be at the same point. Right? That means what? Think about it. The distance. See here, everyone, very important, very important. I am talking about the car that is coming from B first, okay? The car from B first, after 5 years, let's suppose it is here. After 5 hours, it is here, okay? So what is the distance covered by the car in 5 hours? This car here. Okay, let's just suppose its speed is Y, its speed is X. I'll write here also because it's very important. It's not important here. Let's just see it here visually. So what is the distance covered by this car whose speed is Y when it is here at this point? So distance would be speed into time. We know the speed and we know the time because this is meeting this car after 5 years. So this must have traveled for 5 hours, na? Right? So after 5 years, 5 hours, sorry, the distance covered would be 5 into Y, 5Y. Do you agree? I'll write it here. Distance covered by the cars are, first I'll write for the Y wala 5Y. Okay? And now let's talk about this car here, the car that is coming from point A, right? For this car, everyone, the speed is what? X. It has also traveled for 5 hours, right? They are meeting after 5 hours now, so they are both being traveling for 5 hours. So again, for this, the speed is X, the time is 5 hours. So the distance traveled by this car, is what? 5x. Speed into time. That's it. So I'll write it here. This is the most important part. If you understood this, then this is done. Like there's nothing in this question that you need to understand more than this. Okay? Now everyone, can you see this visually? How can we form the relationship? Can you see it visually? If you can't, I'll show you. See everyone. This entire thing is 5y. This small thing is 5x. Now think about it. From this 5y, if I subtract 5x, won't I get 100? You can think about it like this. This is 5y. From here to here, this is 5x. Okay, this was point A, this was point B. Now I know that A to B is what? 100. So there are multiple ways of looking at it. 5x plus 100 is 5y. Or 5y minus 5x is 100. Whatever you want to write. Okay, so I'll write it here, everyone. This is the first equation. 5 y minus 5x is equals to 100. So from here, y minus x is equals to 25. Y minus x is equals to 20. Sorry, my fault everyone, 20. Okay, cool. Okay, now let's apply the same logic to form the second equation. So, for the second equation, everyone, can I take the next slide? Let me take the next slide and again let me explain to you guys. In the next part, what is happening? The cars are moving towards each other. The cars are doing what? They are moving towards each other. Okay, ऐसे? Okay. Now, they are meeting just after 1 hour. Matlab, this is very important to understand. That means both the cars are traveling for 1 hour. For 1 hour they are traveling. So this car's speed is y, this car's speed is x. They are both moving in this direction. Let's suppose that they meet here. Anywhere, let's suppose they meet here. So this is traveling for 1 hour with speed x. So this has covered x kilometer. X into 1 is x. This car is traveling from point B for 1 hour with speed y. So this is y kilometer. And I know that x plus y should be equals to AB, obviously. So x plus y is 100. Right? This is the important part that you need to understand. And we are just using a very simple thing that you have studied. Distance is equals to time into speed. Okay? Distance is equals to time into speed. That's all we are using here. Okay? And the fact that in first case, both the cars traveled for 5 hours. Okay, I'll write here. Case 1, cars traveled for 5 hours. 5 hours. So that means that time is equals to 5 and the speeds you already know. X and Y individually. X and Y. Speeds were different. Okay? Case 2, cars traveled 1 hour. Cars traveled for 1 hour. Both the cars traveled for 1 hour. So time was 1. Speed you already knew. Different. Okay? So what is the second equation that will be formed, everyone? The second equation formed would be x plus y is equals to 100. Okay? This is equation number 2. I hope you understood this. So we have two equations now. Y minus x is equals to 20 and x plus y is equals to 100. So I'll write this here. Y minus x plus y. Minus x plus y is equals to 20. Okay? This was equation number 1. Basically, we are simply going to add. What we are going to do? We are going to add because x will be eliminated. So this is gone. Y plus y is 2y. 100 plus 20 is 120. From here, y is equals to 60 kilometer per hour because it was speed. X is equals to 100 minus 60, 40 kilometers per hour. That's it. So this one was tough, guys, because it needed understanding. That's it. Okay, because equations were very easy. In equations and word problems are never the tricky part. It's always forming equations. That's the tricky part. Okay, so yes, I hope you understood this one. If you did not, watch the entire question again. You'll get it. Let's discuss this problem here, everyone. It is a question based on numbers where we have to form numbers. Okay, interesting, and again something that is common in your board exam. So you should know this. The sum of the digits of a 2-digit number is 9. If 27 is added to it, the digits of the number get reversed. The number is. Okay, so first of all, how do you form a 2-digit number? Let me take a random 2-digit number, 58. I've just taken it randomly, guys. Do you remember how to write it in expanded form? 5 into 10 plus 8. Yes or no? 5 into 10 plus 8. You always multiply the tens digit with 10 and add the unit digit, right? So if I have any number, 2-digit number in the form x, y, where x is the tens digit and y is the unit digit. So actually the number originally would be written how? Because you can't write it as x into y. X, y matlab x into y, right? That's why you can't write the number as x into y originally. That would be incorrect. So how will you write a 2-digit number with tens digit x and ones digit y? You will write it in expanded form. That would be x into 10 plus unit digit y, that is 10x plus y. This is how you write 2-digit numbers, right? 10 into 10's digit plus 1's digit. You don't write it like this because this confuses. This basically means that x and y are getting multiplied, which is not the case. 5 and 8 here are not getting multiplied. This is a number. Anyways, with that cleared, let's move on. Okay. We have to find the number. To find the number, we need the digits of the number, and the relationship here is also given in digits, right? So let 10's digit be x and 1's digit, everyone, 1's digit be y. Okay? What would the number look like? Would you write it as x into y? You would write it in expanded form, right? So the number is what? 10x plus y. 10x plus y. 10 into 10's digit plus 1's digit. Okay. Now, the sum of the digits of the 2-digit number is 9. So, first equation, let's form the first equation because it's very easy to form. The sum of the digits is given as what? 9. X plus y is equals to 9. This is equation number 1, everyone. Let me write it down. Now, the second part is the tricky part. If 27 is added to it, added to what? Added to the original number. It matlab the original number. The original number. So, if 27 is added to the original number, the digits of the new number formed would be exchanged. Okay. So, first of all, let me think about, exchange number. Like, what will happen if I exchange the digits of a number? For example, if I exchange the digits of the number, this number will become 85. Right? So, how will you write its expanded form? Now, the 1's digit has become 10's digit, right? So, 10 into 8 plus 5. Right? So, when you are exchanging the digits of a number, the 1's digit becomes 10's digit and the 10's digit becomes 1's digit. Okay, everyone? So, I'll first write the number with digits reversed. Number with digits reversed. Digits reversed. Digits reversed means y would now be the 10's digit, and x would be 1's digit. X would be 1's digit. Okay, everyone? Previously, x was the 10's digit, remember? So, what would the number look like, everyone? The number would look something like this. 10 into 10's digit, which is y, plus 10 into 10's digit, which is y, plus 1's digit, which is x. So, this is the number. Okay? Now, let's move back to the second part. 27 is added to it. So, 27 is getting added to the original number. So, okay, if I add 27 to the original number, this will be like this. 27 plus original number is 10x plus y. 10x plus y. Now, this will become equals to what? Then, if 27 is added to original number, the digits of the new number formed is reversed. That means 27 plus the original number gives us new number or the number whose digits are reversed. So, 10y plus x, right? So, 10y plus x. So, here what do you get when you solve this, everyone? You get 27, let me just write it down. Say 10x minus 9y. Oh, sorry. I'll write this again. Wait. 10x minus x is 9x. Y minus 10y is minus 9y is equals to minus of 27. This is what you get. Okay? So, this is equation number 2. Now, everyone, that's all from my side because ab iske aage you are going to do the solving part yourself. You are going to solve it yourself and give the answer in the comment box below. Come on, guys, show some enthusiasm. So I would also, love to see all your answers in comment box. And yes, that's it. This is your homework. I'll write it down. Homework. Yeah. Okay, so that's it from my side, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the session. Do remember to practice word problems because if you don't practice them, believe me, you will get stuck while forming equations, right? So yes, no wasting time. Go do your thing. Go study and carpe diem. Seize the day, guys. Exam is near, but stay motivated and keep practicing. So yes, we'll meet again in the next session. Till then, bye-bye. Take care.